he feels his team kind of took a step forward because he trusts his team and they trust him. Where do you think you guys are as far as earning that kind of trust and building that kind of trust with Coach Holtman?
Definitely think we're going in the right direction. I think even like within all the players and within the coaches, we all have a really strong trust within each other. And I mean, just coming in, working every day, and being consistent, you're going to keep building that. So I guess we can just keep on working on that daily and keep trying to build that.
How important is that as you guys look to some of these road environments you have to face? Obviously, you've got 2 tough ones coming up here back to back, but how important is it to have that sort of trust level with your coaching staff?
It's very important because whether you up, down, like every game you're gonna go through ups and downs. You're gonna go through adversity, and when you're going through that, you gotta stay together. You can't get distant from each other. I gotta encourage each other and just stay as one, stay as a unit.
Yeah. Luther, you're going back home. Are you jacked up for this?
I'm just excited as any other game. To be honest, I'm not really focused on me going back home.
You have like a lot of people there.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of family there.
Yeah. Did they recruit you much at all? Or?
Yes, at the beginning of my recruitment, they did recruit me a little.
Is that how far of a drive is that from where you grew up?
I want to say hour and 20 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, that's close, very close.
Okay.
Luther, what does EGE stand for?
Everybody gonna eat. That's just my little slogan I stand by because no matter who get the accolades on the team, if we winning, everyone's winning.
Chris said that he told you guys that he was not happy with the way he managed the end of the Michigan State game. When you have a coach that is as open about stuff like that, what does that mean to you guys?
I mean, that's important because that just shows, collectively, everyone's taking responsibility. I know he always makes it a big emphasis on, good teams never point fingers. If you're down or, if you're winning, you're still going to collectively, it's going to be as a team. So that's super important for us. And like he was talking about, building trust every day. So just staying close together, and that's important.
Kyle, how many times have you viewed that put-back dunk where you were out by the three-point line and then ran in for the rebound and just slammed it home? And
I saw it a few times on Twitter. A couple people reposted it, so I watched it a few times. But yeah.
It was nice.
You've seen it a couple times too, then?
Yeah. I replayed it like 10 times. Go Kyle.
Luther, we've talked to you a lot about your defense since you've gotten here, and you've talked about how it's not just you, it's everybody on the court, and if one guy scores 20, it scores 20 on everybody. When a Michigan State has a second half like they did, where they shot as well as they did, how much do you take a half like that personally?
Very much. I just think after the game, you can't get no game back. Once you in between the lines and the lights is on, ain't no turning back. It ain't no do-overs. So it's just a learning experience. Every loss not a loss. I look at it as we got to learn as a team and just get better.
What did you learn about guarding Cassius? It seemed like, especially in the second half, he was able to get on you a little bit.
Just stay disciplined. Stay within the game. That's about it. Just stay disciplined, stay locked in, pay attention to detail, follow the scouting report.
Kyle, last year I think you guys only lost back-to-back games twice. I'm curious, in your mind, what you accredit that to? Coach Holtman said, the leadership was a big thing, but what do you think that helped you guys to prevent multiple losses in a row from piling up?
Like Luther was saying, once you get in between the lines, there's no do-over. So, after the game, we're right back to preparing. So we treat every game. We don't look ahead. It's just we focus on that game. So really, I think it's the amount of preparation, the coaches put in. They help us put in. All the guys individually, the amount of preparation we put in. I think it's just staying focused on the next game and just continuing to get better and not allowing that to happen. So,
obviously, you guys have only lost twice this year, but is that a sense of pride to try and make sure you don't start to see, back-to-back losses or extended streaks of losing this season?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you never want to lose. You're always trying to win, but that's the thing. Like even Luther said, it's a learning experience with every loss. So, we take what we can from previous games, and we try to get better as time goes on, and try not to make the same mistakes we did. So, like being more detailed, stuff like that during the games, offensively and defensively, and trying to execute.
Kyle, you've been doing a lot of these lob dunks for a while now. How did that originate? Was that something like you were messing around in practice and coach said, "Oh, that's pretty good," or did he design something for this?
I'm just trying to use my athleticism as much as I can, help the team. So that's even using cutting. I'm always trying to stay an active cutter. Coach wants me to do that. Just hanging around the rim, making it easy for guys to find me, stuff like that. But, just trying to do anything I can to help the team, and using my athleticism is a way I can do that.
But you've got to have communication with the guards. I mean,
Yeah.
You've got to kind of read each other's eyes. How does that come about? I mean, because that's a devastating play for the defense.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate in getting behind them.
Yeah, I mean, Luther said it, chemistry. It's just nice knowing you have that connection between the guards and that they trust you. You're going to go catch it. And they're just going to lob it and make a good pass. So it's nice having that connection when you make eye contact.
Luther, he's being real modest about this. Could you just talk about how that develops? Without giving anything away.
Basically, just IQ, guards, seeing the open man, pretty much. And, like, our coach, like, force it on us, like, look in. So we like to look in before actually, like, taking the first shot. We like to get it to our base, Caleb West and him, and play inside out instead of outside in.
Kyle, when you see, we see what the impact Caleb Weston has on the court. What do you see in him off the court in terms of, do you view him as a leader? What is he to you guys in the locker room?
No, yeah, for sure. I built a pretty good relationship with him, coming in last year with him, seeing how he's grown, how hard he works off the court on the game too, so even in practices and stuff. I definitely view him as a leader for us, and I think that's something he needs to continue to do for us. As well as everyone else too. You try to hold everyone accountable for just putting as much in as they can for the team. So,
yeah. How important is it to say, I mean, he is only a sophomore, you were only a sophomore, but to kind of be pushed into that role, both of you, like to be kind of forced into those leadership roles early on. Mm-hmm. How have you grown in that? How have you seen him grow in that? And how important is it to this team at this point?
It's important because it doesn't mean like, some people think, leaders are only like the older guys, like seniors and stuff like that. And I think coaches do a good job of, kind of making it a point. Leaders are guys who step in and teach others and help to make the team better and stuff like that. So I think the earlier the better, just that we learn these important values will help our team get better with every day. So the better we're going to be.
Either of you can answer this question. Michigan State was... Did you guys view Michigan State as a game that kind of view where you guys are as a team?
I would say yes, being that they're our top 10 team in the country, so that's a potential Elite Eight team if they continue to do well. So playing against them, I feel like it definitely was a challenge to see where we were and see what we need to work on and what we need to continue to be consistent at.
And Luther, for you, as a guy who takes pride on the defensive end, still, good offense is going to be good defense most of the time, and your job is really just to make it tough on the defender and make it as hard as possible for him to score. How much for your game has to be a short-term memory loss kind of situation when Cassius is doing what he's doing in the second half?
Basically, you take it one play at a time. I mean, a great player is going to make great shots. So you can't get down on yourself. You just got to look at it as, all right, he got that one. Make sure you don't get the next one. So that's how I view every play. My man score, I try to make sure you don't get the next bucket.
What's the biggest difference in guarding high-level college players versus the best high school players?
Like I said before, it's you guarding guys who about to go to the NBA and play on national television and get paid to play, rather than playing against high-level guys in high school who still need work done and potential one-and-dones. So it's a big difference because at this level they more developed, they more NBA ready, and in high school they still need a little bit of polish to their game to be NBA ready.
And Kyle, when you and Caleb came in together, but Caleb was a starter last year and you were coming off the bench, and this year, for a lot of the year, you've started alongside him. How have you developed chemistry with him when he had chemistry with guys last year, but he comes in with a new group and you're part of that?
I think that's both just playing together like throughout the off season and just like hanging out off the court chemistry too. The more you get to know someone, the better connection you're gonna have. So, but yeah, really just working out together this off season and playing in open gyms, stuff like that, and through practices. I think we just kind of developed a good connection between our two games.
Coach Holtman talked about wanting to have even more of a post presence aside from Caleb, and he mentioned you, he mentioned Andre. Where do you think you guys are as far as continuing to build your presence in the paint?
I think we can still continue to be more tough and physical, utilizing that game more inside, maybe looking to get to a move first instead of like just getting in, passing it out right away. But that's also tough when you have a lot of teams that will post trap and double and stuff like that. But like we said, we just need to keep working on it every day, and hopefully it'll get better.
I got a text after the game for someone that watched it, and they asked me if you've ever lost a game of 21 in your life. Because it just seems like your skill set, you would probably never lose a game like that. So I wondered, have you ever lost a game of 21?
I can't even think back, but I did play a lot of 21 growing up.
If I'm playing, you lose.
I don't know about that. 21 was a fun game playing growing up, though.